When you stop doing these 13 things, your life will dramatically improve. And you can hold me to that. What are you saying, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about 13 things that you need to stop doing if you're trying to level up, glow up, or improve your life in any way. I'm about to at you, so get ready for this. Anyway, let's roll the intro. Right? Subscribe! I love you guys. So the first thing you need to stop doing is saying yes when you mean no. This can be applied to literally anything, and in every example, what you are doing when you do this is you are disrespecting yourself. If someone is asking you something and you know that you don't want to do it, your answer is no, just fundamentally no. You know that it doesn't sit right with you for whatever reason. When you say yes, you are now accommodating their needs above your own needs. You are now respecting that other person a whole lot more than you're respecting yourself. You're going against your own needs and your own wants, and you know what you want. You know what you need in that situation. What you need is to honor yourself, and you're not doing that. And I know it may not seem that deep. For example, yeah, let's say one of your friends asks you, do you wanna go for dinner today? Let's say you had plans to rest that day. Let's say there was work you needed to catch up on. Anything. If there is anything else that you needed to do for your own well-being, for your own happiness, no matter how big or small that is, if you know you need to do that and that's why you don't want to say yes to your friend, but you find yourself saying yes, you may not think that that's that big a deal. You might think, I'm not disrespecting myself. And I thought that for the longest time. I didn't see the I don't want to say severity, but I didn't see the weight of what I was doing for a really, really long time. And I didn't realize that for so long I was actually betraying myself and I was disrespecting myself because I wasn't listening to what I needed, and I wasn't prioritizing what I needed and what I wanted. I was prioritizing the other person and what they wanted. I was constantly trying to please them instead of looking after myself. And if you don't look after yourself, no one will look after you. Like, newsflash, like the only person that's ever going to prioritize you in your life is yourself. You are the only person that ever has potential to back yourself. So if you don't show up for yourself, no one else will. Also, you have to remember, yeah, people notice and mirror the way you treat yourself, the way you talk about yourself, the way you conduct yourself in general. People notice the way that you are towards yourself. If someone sees you, as subtle as it may be, but disrespecting yourself and your needs, they now have an understanding of the way you value yourself. It tells them something, right? And you will notice they will start to treat you with that same level of disrespect. It's like, for example, if you had a laptop and you were just very you weren't really looking after it, you're throwing it on your bed, you're just kind of doing whatever. Your friends that come over and see the way you act around your stuff, they are going to understand that that is acceptable to treat your stuff in that way because you treat your stuff in that way. So, okay, well, if the person that owns it doesn't care, that means that I don't really have to care because they do it themselves anyway. So, okay, when I'm holding your laptop, I'm just going to throw it on the bed and I'm just going to treat it a bit like, you know, I'm just going to be a bit reckless with it. It's literally the same concept. If someone sees you treating yourself in a way that isn't great, people are going to think they can get away with treating you in the same way that is not that great. You are setting the standard to which other people will treat you. They're going to match that. So however you act, that is what people are going to match. So you need to stop being overly accommodating to other people's needs and start looking after your own needs instead. And it's so mad because people can start to treat you like shit and you won't even realise that it's happening. That's happened with me anyway. I didn't even realise I was putting out these signals to be like, you can treat me like this and I will let you. You can treat me like this and I will let you. And I didn't even realise it. I thought I was being nice. I thought that I was being a good friend or I was looking after that person. But really, I wasn't looking after them. I was just not looking after myself, and that's all they see. But it literally stops with you. Once you stop treating yourself that way, everyone else will stop treating you that way. It's literally a mirror. The next thing you need to stop doing is speaking negatively about yourself or your situation. The words you speak about yourself are either vitamins or poison to your body. Take the concept of the way you speak about yourself and bring it to life. Literally think of it as it's either a vitamin or it's a poison that you're giving yourself. And I guarantee it will change the way you speak about yourself. If we knew the amount of power that our words hold, we would be so much more careful with the way we use them. Our words hold a power that we can't see. When you speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke, your subconscious mind listens to that, internalizes it, and takes it as the truth. Whether you meant it as the truth or not. Your subconscious mind is so scarily powerful. So without you realizing it, the words that you're speaking is contributing to the way your mind sees yourself. Take a minute to just digest that. The words you speak contribute to the way your mind sees yourself. If your subconscious mind is so powerful and capable of so much, then what we feed it is incredibly important. Also remember, you attract more of what you focus on. So when you focus on the negative about yourself, about your situation, regardless, when you focus on whatever it is that's negative, what's going to happen? You're going to attract more negative into your life. Obviously, we can't help the fact that we think negative things and we can be in situations which, you can't help it, are negative. However, there will always be something positive you can find from the situation or from yourself. Whatever it is that you are viewing negatively, find the positive and focus on that. It could be the smallest thing, which is why practicing gratitude is so important, because practicing gratitude allows you to find appreciation in small things and fixate on the positives, regardless of how crazy or negative your circumstance or life can be at any given moment. It helps you learn the skill of how to focus your energy to the positive. Focusing on the positive will literally just attract more positive vibes into your life. It's as simple as that. The next thing you need to stop doing is allowing your emotions to dictate your behaviour. Okay, think of a time you felt a really strong emotion and you acted on it, like in that moment. It didn't go well, did it? Yeah, it never does. Above all, you need to protect your peace. That is the number one thing. That is the most important thing. I've seen a lot of quotes and things of people saying, as you get older, you learn that the most important thing is your peace. The only thing you care about is your peace, and it's so true. Your peace is just... there is nothing that comes close. When you allow your emotions to dictate your actions and your behaviour, you are now acting on impulses. Your actions are going to be less thought through. You're going to act off of extreme feelings, and that's essentially what can lead to making bad choices. It's completely normal to feel emotions as extreme as they are. When you feel them, allow yourself to feel them. Sit with it. Process that emotion, process that feeling. Then once you've calmed down and you're back to being at a level emotional state, that is when then you can make an informed decision. You can't use your better judgment when your emotions are at the forefront, because when they're at the forefront, they will dictate everything. You need to control them before they control you. The next thing we need to stop doing is overthinking. Whew, I could talk about this one a lot, believe me. Okay, take it from a classic overthinker. Overthinking is the quickest and easiest way to destroy your peace. When you overthink, you doubt yourself, and that doubt creates damage that was never even there in the first place. There are two quotes that really help me when I'm in a mental turmoil and when my overthinking and my overworrying just takes over and feels like it's consuming me. If it's not going to matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes thinking about it. When I'm literally in the midst of an overthinking spell, I think, okay. Genuinely, in 5 years, will this matter? Will this be important? 9 times out of 10, the answer is always no. 9 times out of 10. If it's no, it's the quickest way to be like, okay, just flip the switch. Okay, it's literally not worth my energy. It's a yes or no. It's like, will it matter? Yes or no? No, cool, okay, done, switch it off. The next quote is, let your faith be greater than your fear. I think a lot of the time overthinking comes from, as I said, it's linked to doubt, and that comes from a lack of having faith in yourself. It can be in your actions, in your decisions, in whatever. Point is, it comes from that place of self-doubt. But when you let go of that control, when you just release it, and you're like, you know what? I have faith. This is going to pan out the way it's meant to. I have faith in my actions. I trust myself. I trust my judgment. I have faith in myself. I have faith in my friendship, my relationship, whatever. I have faith in it. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm not going to do it. You just need to create a force within yourself which is stronger than that fear that you feel. The next thing we need to stop doing is gossiping and getting involved in drama. Yeah. Alright, I know a lot of you are not going to want to hear this one, but it needs to be said. It needs to be said. Gossiping and talking about other people and getting involved in drama, all that does is lowers your vibrational level. You attract things that match your vibrational energy. So when your vibrational energy is low, you are going to just attract events and people into your life that match that low level. And everything that comes to you, which is matching you on that frequency, is not going to help you to level up. It's as simple as that. Stay in your own lane, focus on what is important to you, what matters, where you're trying to focus your energy, what's worthy of your energy. Just channel everything into yourself. I know it can be very easy to be sucked back into it because it's a thing everyone does. Everyone talks about people, everyone gossips, there's always drama everywhere, like it's everywhere. You can't deny it, right? But you need to train yourself to step away from people or situations that kind of seem to be centered around speaking about other people and getting caught up in drama. Anyone or any situation that puts a focus on other people, other people's business and gossiping is not a person you want to surround yourself with. That's not an energy that you should be around if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to attract more blessings into your life, if you're trying to be better, improve yourself. That is not going to help you do that. That whole bitchy gossiping thing, it's just never going to do you any favours. It's always only ever going to bring you down. And to be honest, just make you feel quite shit. It doesn't make you feel good and it never will. So it's not worth your energy or your time. So don't give it that. The next thing we're not doing is putting people on a pedestal. When you put people on a pedestal, you are placing them higher than yourself. That then affects the way you see them, the way you treat them, in relation to yourself, compared to yourself. It kind of links to point number one. So if it's going to be like a question of they want one thing but I want the other thing, you're going to do what they want because in your mind you've created the narrative that they are more important than you. Because they're on the pedestal that you created. There is no partner, no friend, no one that should be in your head of a higher importance than yourself. You are your priority. Think of yourself as that person on the pedestal. The way you would treat them, that's how you should treat yourself because you're on the pedestal now. The way you would speak to them, speak to yourself that way. The way you would look after them, look after yourself that way. If you are someone that is notorious for always just getting a bit too focused on looking after them and supporting them and looking after their needs, that means you've got that power, you've got that capability. So if you've got it, you can just flip it the other way. If you are capable of directing it to that one person that's on a pedestal and you're always facing it that way, that means you're able to give that support, you're able to give that love, you're able to give that positive reinforcement to that person. But all you now need to do is just switch it to yourself. So everything you would do for that person, everything you would say to that person, every way you would treat that person, you're now going to treat yourself. Now think of how incredible that is going to be for yourself. Think of how monumental that is going to be for your growth because you are now forever going to be on that pedestal. Listen, that gives me shivers. That literally gives me shivers because you are capable of just leveling up so much if you just treat yourself the way you deserve to be treated. And watch, everyone is going to start to treat you with that respect that you are now treating yourself with. Again, it's the mirror situation. Treat yourself that way and other people treat you like that. Right. The next thing you're going to stop doing is comparing yourself to other people. We all do it, but it's time to cut that out. Your journey is different from every single person around you. It doesn't matter if you're the same age, you had the same opportunities growing up, you had the same ambitions, it doesn't matter. Everyone's journey and everyone's place in life and their timeline is entirely different to yours. So it does not make sense to compare your journey and where you are at with the person next to you. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't make sense. I'll give you an example, yeah? One of my closest friends, she is at a point in life where she is due to be engaged soon. She's going to be getting married, settling down, kind of creating that home life for herself. I could not be further away from that. We are the same age. We've had the same levels of education. We entered full-time work at the same time. There are so many parallels you could look at in our lives, which could make it so easy for me to compare where I'm at in life to where she's at. And that just shows how different your path can be to someone else's. But it doesn't mean that one path is better than the other. Where you are isn't necessarily not as good as where the person next to you is. It's just different. So when you compare yourself to some next person, whoever they are, it's not fair on yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice because how is that a fair comparison? If you're on different journeys, if you're on different paths, even if they look the same, they're not the same. So how can you compare it? It's not a fair comparison. So then all that's going to do is push you down. It's just going to make you feel shit and make you feel like you're less accomplished or you're not good enough or whatever. All it's going to do is create negative emotions within yourself, which is not going to serve any positive purpose whatsoever. It would be so easy for me to compare myself to other creators. And don't get me wrong, it happens. Of course, it's natural. Every human is going to naturally compare themselves to someone else. But it's about controlling that. I could so easily look at my numbers. I could get so obsessed over my number of subscribers, followers, my views, everything, all of my statistics. I could so easily obsess over that and look at someone else who's maybe been creating for the same amount of time as I have, or creates a similar type of content, or maybe even someone that's been creating for less time than I have. I've been here for about, what, 7 years? 8 years? 7 years, I think. I could so easily take someone else. There are so many creators that have been creating for maybe like 4 years that have like millions and millions of subscribers and followers. That would have the capability to stop me from even creating for you guys. Imagine if I let that get to me. If I let that get to me, I would not be making videos, and I enjoy making videos. I wouldn't then be making myself happy. Then I've stopped doing the thing that I love. You guys aren't, you lot wouldn't have anything to watch from me because I would stop. There are so many ways I can compare myself to other creators, but you see what would happen if I let it? You see what would happen if I let it win? So in the same way, whatever it is that you're doing, however you're comparing yourself to someone else, don't let that change your behaviours. Think about how detrimental that could be to your life, to your journey, if you let that comparison win. The only person that you were in competition with is yourself yesterday. That is literally the only comparison that will ever matter. There is always going to be someone that is more intelligent, that is prettier according to society standards, or that has achieved more. There is always going to be someone. It doesn't matter what you've achieved in your life. You could literally be Beyonce, yeah? You could be Beyonce. You would still have someone to compare yourself to. You would still have something to compare yourself to. And if you keep going like that, you're just never going to be happy, because you're never going to reach a standard where you are genuinely content and happy with where you are, because there's always going to be something more. There's always going to be someone that's done more, or is more. There's always going to be that comparison. There's always going to be someone. So you're essentially chasing something that you're never going to get. You're chasing something you're never going to find, because you're never going to be good enough in your own mind if you're constantly comparing yourself and your worth to someone else's. Comparing yourself is such an easy way to destroy your happiness. It just takes everything from you. It's such a dark hole to find yourself in, and it's so easy to fall into it. Everyone falls into it, but it's about being able to pull yourself out and making sure that what you see doesn't affect the way you feel about yourself, because that is always the most important thing. The next thing we're not doing is holding on to any mistakes that we've made. Any mistakes that you've made or any regrets that you have, forgive yourself, learn from them, and move on and leave it in the past. Being hard on yourself doesn't change what's happened. It doesn't change what you've done or what you haven't done. You can't undo that. The only thing you can do is learn from it and act right going forwards. And the only way you're actually going to be able to move forwards in a positive direction is if you leave that in the past. Take what's constructive from it. Learn a lesson. Think about how you're going to do things differently, and genuinely think about how you're going to do things differently, and genuinely think of how you're going to improve yourself from it. And then you need to actually let it go so that you can move forward to take those steps. The key is constructive. Take what you can that's constructive from it and leave everything else. So once you've strategized how you're going to take that information and use it to better yourself moving forward and better your actions moving forward, then you're good. Strategize, take what you need, disregard the rest. The next thing you're going to stop doing is letting your fears stop you from doing anything. Don't let that voice of self-sabotage, self-criticism and self-doubt win. You are literally capable of anything. You are the only person in control of that. It's all about if you play it right, and what you listen to and what you don't listen to, and what you let affect you and what you don't let affect you. Literally the only one that will stop you is yourself and your inner critic. It's just if you listen to it and let that win. And you know what? That's always going to be the biggest obstacle. The one that's within yourself, not what's in the outside world. And once you overcome that, once you overcome everything that's inside that's stopping you, you are going to attract so much success and beauty into your life. You are not going to over-explain. Over-explaining is another form of disrespecting yourself. It's another outlet of the same thing. When you do that, you are behaving as if you have to answer to someone else. You are behaving as if you are seeking validation from that person. It's like you want them to support and agree with what you're saying, your decision, your opinion, whatever it is. You are seeking that from them because there is a lack of confidence within yourself of that decision, that opinion, or whatever it is. Whatever you decide, whatever you feel, whatever you think, back yourself. You don't need someone else to tell you you can back yourself. Like, that's right. That's an okay thing to feel. That's an okay thing to think. That's an okay thing to want. That's an okay thing to decide. You don't need someone else to come and validate that decision for you. You are a whole person and you can decide that for yourself. It's like how no is a complete sentence as well. You are not obliged to explain any more than you want to about anything. You're not obliged to. It's only if you want to. So don't feel compelled to over-explain every decision that you make or every opinion that you have. No one needs to understand. You don't need to justify anything to anybody. If you feel what you feel, cool. That's fine. Have strength in that, have confidence in that, stand with it. It doesn't matter what anyone else's opinions are on what you're doing or how you're living your life or what you decide. It's got nothing to do with them. It's all about you. So their opinion on it, irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. It's about having confidence in yourself. That is essentially what it comes down to. Because other people's understanding or lack of understanding of what you do with your life isn't your business. It's got nothing to do with you. That's their problem. Say what you want, do what you want to do, back yourself. You don't need to seek validation from other people. You are not going to feel guilty for reinforcing your boundaries. Your boundaries are there for your protection. They are not to be rude, they are not to disrespect anyone else, they are to ensure your own respect. They're to look after yourself. Without boundaries, you essentially allow people to use you how and when they choose to. It ensures the treatment that you're going to receive, not just from yourself, but from other people too. They literally look after what you need and what you want for yourself and your happiness and your peace. And that's important because you're a priority. You're not second priority. You are a top priority and you should be treating yourself like a top priority. People are going to try to break past them because that's what they're going to try to do. But it's up to you to reinforce them and make sure that you don't back down from them. You are the only person that's going to make sure your boundaries stay intact. So back yourself and do it. Stop waiting for your life to be perfect to be happy. Being able to find happiness in your current moment is a very, very powerful skill to have. Happiness isn't something external. It literally comes from within yourself. That's the only place you are ever going to find it, is within yourself. It's not in a job, in a partner, in a new house. It's not in anything else. It's inside yourself. It's not dependent on external circumstances, even though you feel like it is. You feel like your happiness is based on the things that happen to you, but it's not. It's not based on that. It's based on what you find and what you feel from within yourself. It's like that quote, you can't wake up and see what kind of day you're gonna have. You have to wake up and decide what kind of day you're gonna have. Once you find a way to nail that, once you find a way to feel genuine happiness in every stage and every chapter of your life, you are going to attract so many blessings and so much more genuine, authentic happiness into your life. You are going to stop procrastinating. Yes, you're going to stop it. You're not going to do that anymore. Literally, all procrastinating does is delay your blessings. Everything good that's coming to you, you are blocking that from coming to you right now by procrastinating. All it does is literally keep you trapped in that middle ground. When you've decided you want something, take the action that's needed to get it. When something needs to be done, do it. If you have a goal or a dream or something you're trying to work towards it. Start acting on it right now. You literally cannot come up with any excuse telling you to wait. Why are you waiting? Procrastination literally just puts your life and your blessings on pause. That's it. Alright guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you took something of value away from this. Hope something hit home a little bit, kicked your ass into gear. I hope you feel like something resonated with you though, seriously. And if it did, drop me a comment, drop me a DM, let me know if you liked it. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this. And if there are any particular topics you want me to talk about more, if I touched on it in this video or if I didn't, if you want me to go into more depth on anything, just let me know and I'll do that for you guys. But I love you guys so much. So much. Thank you for watching. I love you. I said that already, but I do. I'm gonna say it again. I love you so much. Stay safe, stay smiling, stay positive. Mwah. I'll see you next week. Bye guys.